It is so hot out right now. But we out here. What?
I'm asking ChatGPT, and I was like,
Ew.
No. I was like,
I don't want AI questions.
I know. Its response was, I was like, I want it weirder, and it's like, oh, you want weird. And I was like, yeah.
That is funny, but I wish you had consulted me first.
Sorry.
I don't want to talk to chat GPT.
You don't have to. I already did.
This butterfly is just chilling right here. I love it. I'd rather talk to a butterfly than an AI. Far more interesting.
Oh, I'm Googling it now.
You're Googling?
Weird shit, yeah.
You're Googling weird shit?
Like, yeah.
That sounds perverted.
Yeah, you should see this one. It's shaped as a star. Just kidding.
Wow. In public, too.
Wow. You ready?
I'm always ready.
Do you ever try to eat an ant?
Have I ever tried to eat an ant, or would I ever try to eat an ant?
Did you ever?
Did I ever? No, but I did try to eat dry, crunchy leaves when I was younger. I don't know why, but I have that as a core memory.
Okay.
And then I had a long stint as a vegetarian for like 6 years, so did that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
If you could replace your fingers with any food, what would it be?
If I could replace my fingers with any food,
Yeah.
gosh, something flexible, probably. I don't know. Twizzlers. I like Twizzlers. Yeah.
You can, like, whips.
And I could eat them still
It's true.
and use them as straws. Multifunctional.
To your blood?
Yeah.
Okay. If you had to be haunted by a ghost, but you got to choose who it was, who would you pick?
It's a loaded question. Could I kill someone who's alive right now?
Sure. God damn it.
I might bleep the name because I don't want to be put on a watch list. So I could be with him
Oh
forever.
my god.
I would never be allowed near him again.
Yeah, restraining order.
Because what if I get a chance to meet him again and then he sees this and he'd be like, you're very odd for saying that you want to kill me so that I could haunt you forever. But
If aliens abducted you and asked you to explain the internet in one sentence, what would you say?
hive mind.
If you can only communicate with song lyrics, what song would be your go-to for conversation?
I feel like I know so many songs. You know me. I like know like every word to so many songs.
True.
So that's hard to pick one. But I had to. So the question was, if I had to pick one song.
It says, using song lyrics, what song would be your go-to for conversation? See, I was thinking,
That's hard.
what I'm thinking is like slightly different, where it's like you have to communicate in the rhythm of the song instead of like,
Power off.
It died already.
Damn.
That's okay. I'll hold it anyway.
True.
I feel better holding a microphone. I feel powerful.
I'd go with Jesus of Suburbia.
Jesus of Suburbia. You just love that song.
I do.
I'll
But,
pick
like,
Dexy's Midnight Runners, Come On Eileen.
Alright. But it's 9 minutes and it's like several different, acts in it. So. Okay. If you wake up
Okay.
and your belly button turned into a USB port, what would you do first?
Charge my phone. That feels very convenient. That would be so convenient, actually.
And ask you this one.
Why?
This one will haunt you.
Just let me hear it. I want to be haunted.
Do you really?
Yeah.
If your teeth could detach and scuttle away like spiders
Oh!
when you sleep,
Okay.
what would you do to keep them in place?
Wear a mouth guard, I guess. Oh, I hated
Yeah,
that.
that's why I just didn't want to say that to you.
This is why I insisted on talking to the butterfly. Butterfly would never have said that to me.
You started hearing circus music whenever you're about to make a bad decision.
I
What's
already
the
hear
worst thing
circus
you do
music
in-
whenever I make a bad decision.
Fair.
What? What was the rest of the question? I'm
What's
sorry.
the worst thing you could do anyway?
Not do the thing, I suppose.
You discover that your reflection doesn't copy your movements anymore. What is your next move?
That's very Peter Pan-esque. Follow my shadow or my reflection, because they probably are gonna do some fun shit. Did we just hear a gator flip in the water?
Something. It was probably a bird.
But yeah, that sounds like follow whatever they're gonna do, because who knows, they might have some better ideas than me.
If you bit yourself and it hurts,
Okay.
are you too strong or too weak?
I'm pretty sure the human brain stops you from being able to hurt yourself. Like, you have the capability to bite your own finger off, but your brain will stop you from doing that. I think it only takes like 10 pounds of pressure, because your brain, like, you could crunch it off like a carrot.
Yeah.
Don't do that, but you can if you really, really wanted to. So you can bite yourself hard enough to make it hurt, but you know, don't do it. Don't try. You look startled by the question.
I'm just reading
I'm
some of
so
it.
intrigued.
What if one day the letter M just disappeared from reality? Like, no one could say it, write it, or even remember it existed. What
You
if?
would be called Eichel.
Wow. It's like Pykel.
Eichel.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I would be called Pluto Sirs.
What if the sound of your voice wasn't actually coming from you, but from a tiny invisible creature next to your head?
I love that. I would hope it's Anderson, my little bird friend. Yeah. I wouldn't mind that at all. As long as I can name the thing. I'm very keen on naming little creatures. Then that's fine. If it's, you know, as long as it's nice, because it's my voice, right?
It's
weird because then it's
human.
like it's my voice, so it's my brain. It's a very weird concept.
Yeah. So is this one. If you screamed, but instead of sound, a random object came out of your mouth, what's the worst thing that could happen?
Probably like vomit. Right? Every time you screamed, you just like projectile vomited.
A random object came out of your mouth.
A random object.
Yeah, a random object.
Or like cacti, or like hammers. Something like really unfortunate, broken glass when you're screaming. Yeah, that would suck.
You find out your entire life has been a TV show for aliens. What's the title and which season do you think you're in?
I actually do Pinterest boards for my life all the time in seasons. And my current season is season 30, because I'm going to be 30. The title is probably just a bunch of question marks and random symbols. Especially if it's an alien, like, race watching, they're probably like, fuck is happening?
Murphy's Law.
Yeah, Murphy's Law is probably a good, yeah, that's probably a good title, Murphy's Law, truly. Maybe like season 35. There's probably a few half season runs. We sped run a few things. The marriage season was sped run, I think, a little bit. The divorce was a super half season.
Remember when shows used to be super long seasons?
My
and then they cut to, like,
college,
8?
yeah, the college season was like half season. They were like, wow, why is the season finale happening already? That feels short-lived. They're like, why is she the main character? They probably want to bring back a few supporting cast members that felt like they wrote them off a little bit too quickly, perhaps. I'm not the writer. I don't know who is. I'd love to speak to them, but alas.
Satan. God.
Some
DC.
some omnipotent being.
Ellen,
Yeah.
if you could understand all insects for 24 hours, what conspiracy do you think they would reveal to you?
That plants know a lot more than we give them credit for, perhaps. Oh, yeah, that was a duck. Yeah. I think that the bugs and the plants are in cahoots.
If your belly button was actually a
More
key-
belly button stuff.
I know, man, this person has a belly button key for sure. If your belly button was actually a keyhole, what do you think it would unlock?
My lower intestines, probably.
All right. Speaking of intestines,
Nice segue.
Actually-
Hard to transition, but we got it.
what if your stomach growling wasn't actual hunger, but your intestines whispering secrets to each other?
What can one even say to that other than I don't like that at all? I don't even like that it's not like saying messages, but whispering secrets. Secrets that I'm not in on, I guess. Ugh.
What if every time you act like sneeze for real,
Okay.
you switch bodies with the nearest person, but only for 10 minutes? What's the game plan?
10 minutes? So much can happen in 10 minutes.
That's true.
What if I sneezed at a red light? And we switch cars.
It says nearest person.
And then in 10 minutes, we're like literally in completely different places. Yeah, I mean, like so much can happen in 10 minutes. They're laughing at me.
But we had some of those do that to us when we were magnet fishing.
That's so funny.
Rating.
When you were maha fishing.
Maha. Yeah, I got another one. Every time you touched water, you heard a distant voice softly saying your name from beneath the water.
I
What
like
if-
that. That reminds me of, I don't know if it was, a manga that I read or a movie that I watched like years ago. I have like some distant memory of like a horror media where, yeah, it was like a siren. It might have been a horror movie,
Mhm.
but it's like some dark water kind of
Okay.
concept. I'll have to figure out what that is, but that unlocked some sort of like horror media memory. But that sounds kind of cool, but unfortunate. I really like water. I really like swimming, and showering and washing my hands. I wash my hands probably 100 times a day. I don't know what one would do there that feels like a Hurt Locker. That feels like you would be very dirty because you're like, well, I am gonna be haunted by this spooky water witch. Are there any normal questions you want to ask? Okay.
No. Yeah, actually. Which crayon color tastes the best? That's still like a weird one, but it's a little more.
Tastes the best.
Yeah, which colored crayon tastes
I was
the best?
actually never a big crayon eater. I did like the Play-Doh taste though, and I was a big Polly Pocket clothes eater, chewer, I should say. Them shits were good. Never-ending gobstopper kind of vibe. Everlasting gobstopper, I suppose. I would definitely recommend, if you're in the market for some everlasting gum, get you some Polly Pocket clothes. It's good. Also, like sometimes, you know, when you get that random smell of Play-Doh, it just smells so good. Demeter has a fragrance of just Play-Doh.
Ooh.
Yeah, they bottled it. It's good. That's that's the fragrance line that has the wet dirt
Mm-hmm.
and the petrichor, which I still wear. I really like that. The wet sidewalk. So yeah, that was a fun, weird interview. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Other than that, that's what we've been doing. We're at a park right now where there's large gators in the water and ducks. And hanging out. We do this all day. I like to read a lot and avoid robots and AI. And I do color with crayons. I don't eat them though. Unfortunately, I have not partook in the craft of eating crayons. Don't chew on your fingers. You can bite them off if you try hard enough. So you heard that from me first, to not do it. Don't blame me if you do chew them off. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. This microphone has not been working for the last 5 minutes, as we know, maybe 10. That is all. This is from Pluto Sirs. The M's are silent. And signing off. Thank you for the interview, Eichel. We love you so much. Bye.